to the sky turns to a rider tick.
Hey everyone, I'm Colonel Greer, and today we're taking a look at the Bull Alien from the Kenner Aliens toy line. I have a lot of respect for the Aliens franchise because it influenced one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, Metroid, and it was all full action-packed and also very scary at the same time. However, I only saw the first two films and I never got into the rest of them. Alien 3 was boring, and after that, I just couldn't get into the franchise past the first two films. And I also read some comics. But Chrono, you said you saw the first two Alien movies and then you saw Alien 3. You said that, but then you only said you saw the first two Alien movies. What is wrong with you? Okay, I did see some of Alien 3, but I just got too bored watching it, so I had to turn it off. Maybe someday in the future I'll rewatch that film and give it a second chance. And speaking of comics, what made the Kenner Aliens line unique at the time was that they all came with their own little mini comic by Dark Horse Comics. And each figure and alien got its own mini comic to expand the lore of the franchise and toy line, much like the Master of the Universe toy line that Mattel did in the 80s. And I just have a few of them right here, based on the figures that I've purchased over the years. These comics must have been really fun to read as a kid. And what's really nice about them is at the end of each of these comics, it tells you which issue is going to be packed with which figure. And that was one good way to sell toys to kids. There was even plans for an animated series, which presumably would be similar to the comics that came with these figures, but unfortunately it got cancelled. Another thing a lot of these alien figures came with were facehuggers, and this one is like a candy red, and all these facehuggers came in different colors, like I think one of them was blue, one was green, etc. And it's got some pretty nice detail all around. But like I said, with the candy red and all these other colors that they had, it made them look more like candy, but it has some nice detail on it. As you can see, the legs are curled up so you can attach it to the face of various figures that you own. Taking a look at the figure, this is extremely detailed and well sculpted. You got all these, I'm not a biologist or anything, I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, but you got what looks like stuff popping out here, and these nicely detailed holes inside, and you can see kind of like veins popping out. And one thing that many people find disturbing about the Xenomorph is that the head kind of resembles a penis, and this is no exception. I mean, look at that. Kenner even sculpted in what looks like the glands of a penis at the back of the head. That is just nasty to look at, and I can't believe they actually sold these to children. It must have shocked a lot of parents back in the day. I guess you could say he's a dickhead. And you got the teeth right there, which looks kind of off in my opinion. Not bad looking, but compared to the rest of the figure, doesn't look as detailed. But the teeth are nicely painted on the sides. More of those, I guess they're membranes maybe on the sides here. And one thing I noticed is that this area is popping out more compared to the other side, and it looks a little different. Moving along here, we got lots of details on the legs. And onto the claws, you got like little lines, it looks like, on the claws that are sculpted in. A lot of realism. Kenner did a really good job on this, and Kenner also made the Jurassic Park toys in the 90s, and they too were super realistic and have aged very well. The top here, we got these tube things. They got nicely sculpted in little details here, and we got more of that nice detail all throughout the back. There is a little mechanism here, which I'll get to later. And this is just a really beautiful little tail that they sculpted. I just wish it was more, not, like this, but more, I don't know how to say like more stretched out, maybe. I would prefer that, but I guess for the toy, they had to make it like this so it can fit in the packaging, which is shaped like an egg. And look at all this detail here. Just, wow, this is impressive. Got all that here, all this stuff here, and more detail on the back of the feet. Unfortunately, it's pretty plain on the back. However, on the underbelly, probably my favorite part of this figure is this whole rib cage design that they have going on here. It has this really realistic look to it. Kenner, like I said, did a really good job on the realism of a lot of creatures they made in various toy lines. And on the back here, we got more of that nicely sculpted detail. And overall, this is a fantastic figure that Kenner made back in the day. One thing I was never really too crazy about with this figure are these holes that are here and here. I don't know what the point of these holes are. I don't know if it's like a safety thing in case someone tries to swallow this. I don't know why anyone would. I never understood that. And also I noticed that back here where these legs, where the cuts are for the legs, they're just really plain looking and not detailed at all, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb and makes it feel more toyetic than rather like a realistic animal or creature. This is a toy from the 90s. This isn't an SH Monster Arts or even a NECA figure, so I give that a pass. As for the action feature, there is a little switch here, and if you move this leg back, the head thrusts forward. And not only that, but there is another switch right here. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but you push it back and you can do this, which adds a lot of nice play value. And I just realized something. When you move this really fast, it kind of gives the illusion that it's opening and closing its mouth really fast. I don't know, maybe it's just me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And just reveals more detail on the back here, which is kind of hard to see on camera because of the way his figure is. But then it's all playing back here, but it's not really that noticeable, so once again I give it a pass. Overall, this is a really cool figure. And for a size comparison, here is the Bull Alien next to Ripley from the same toy line, and Lightning Strike Batman, which I have reviewed previously. Now, the reason I brought this Batman figure here is because most of the toys that Kenner made back in the day were universally in the same scale. You could have Batman team up with the Ghostbusters, you can have Stormtroopers taking on the Xenomorphs from Aliens, or you could have like Jurassic Park figures and dinosaurs like going against each other with the aliens and predators or something like that, and the list goes on. And this was brilliant for kids back in the day, and I really wish that other toy companies would do this as well. But I mean, I know Hasbro is kind of doing this with some of the 6-inch scale figures like G.I. Joe Classified, Marvel Legends, the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, that's all on the same scale, but it's something we don't really see too often in kids' toy lines these days. Real quick for articulation, both the front legs and the back legs can go back and forth. These tubes can go full 360, and the tail can go full 360. And one thing I forgot is that the horns can also rotate full 360 for some strange reason. I can't figure out why. I feel like they could have just made this stationary and kind of like seal them together like this, but it is what it is. There was a YouTuber called Alien Theory who actually cut off the horns of these to make it look more like a traditional Xenomorph, and did all kinds of experiments on his figure. So there you have my review on the Bull Alien that Kenner made in the Aliens line. I highly recommend this if you're a fan of Aliens. It's just a lot of fun and well detailed, and it'll look great on your desk or on a shelf on display. And did you have this figure back in the day? Did you collect alien figures when you were a kid? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button. Until then, I'll see you on the flip side.